All right, so this is a very serious interview with the FCT minister, former governor of Rivers State, Minister Wike. Well, at this a lengthy interview, the minister was through some quite number of questions. I'd like you to sit down and let us watch and listen and hear what FCT minister had to say about the downturn. The falling economic of Nigeria. Well, the first question is that the people has actually, it seems as if the people in the committee, people in the cabinet, do they really understand? Like, they don't really feel the impact, the heat that the masses are feeling, when the masses are making complaint as regarding the economy. And it seems as if they are not doing anything about it. Anyway, let's watch and hear what Miki has to say.
Sometimes there are people I have had respect for until when events occur, you find out that you are just holding them in high esteem for nothing. When I was the governor, I used to think that people like Baba Chalawal, people you should have respect for, until when I started observing things that I never knew, that it's not a man you can really take for his words. I had the interview, I watched the interview, and the unpalatable words he used against Mr. President, how he said that Mr. President is full of himself. It's really unfortunate, this is a country. A man could come out in national television not to criticize genuinely what Mr. President has done wrong, but to abuse Mr. President simply because he had had a relationship with Mr. President, simply because he has had opportunity to eat with Mr. President before. That has given him the latitude to come out on national television to say a president of a country is full of himself. He doesn't call him President Bola. If you have a problem with Mr. President before he became a president, there's nothing wrong in you finding a way to sort that problem. Take for example, when Mr. President chose his vice presidential candidate, today the vice president of the country, I was one of those that Baba Chalawa visited. He came to my house in Port Harcourt, in particular, had a judge. He came with one of the former speakers of the House of Representatives. What was his anger? His anger was that he thought that Mr. President would have chosen him as a vice presidential candidate. Having not done that, heaven will have to let loose.
So his anger is about...
It is certainly that. Let me tell you.
So that's why he told you. He wanted to become vice president.
But it was very clear. You don't need to be clear to you. It was very clear. We were not kids. Even a kid who's intelligent will know where your anger is. The way you are speaking is very obvious. That is not enough. When you say Mr. President is unapproachable, government is not approachable. What do you call government? I'm a minister in charge of Federal Capital Territory. Mr. Azar is a minister in charge of Interior. Mrs. O is a minister in charge of Trade, Investment and Industry. Must everybody reach Mr. President? Is that the way government runs? If everybody in this country, you will not reach out to the ministers, you will not reach out to special advisors, you just want to reach out to Mr. President. How many people can Mr. President say at a time? I'm a minister. Have you made any way, if you have a problem as regards to the administration of activities in FCT, to try to reach out to the FCT minister, and he was not able to reach out to you? If he's not always on seat, he's always traveling. So when you say government is unapproachable,
is this government approachable?
Of course.
Is this government conscious of what is going on in the country?
Like what?
The economic situation of the country?
That's the problem we're going to take for example. In 2015.
All right, so this is where I have issues with having to interview the FCT ministers. You can listen to the questions that you have been asking him. Now, again, he asked questions. Is this government aware of the present economy? The challenges that the people are facing. And he has to take him back again to politics. Wike like politics very well. Anyway, let's listen and see how it comes back to the questions again.
When we had an election, what was the issue? That they were saying that Jonathan must not come back. Can you tell me what were the issues?
There were issues, petrol subsidy.
That economy was involved.
Economy issue.
Fine. I agree with you. When Buhari came, we are not just complaining about the economy.
Absolutely.
Fine. So it was not better.
But it's
No. I'm
gotten worse.
No. It was not better. Answer me. It was better. Fine. So if you say Nigerians did not vote for Jonathan because things were bad, Nigerians also became angry for the last president who was there for 8 years. The other was there for 5 years. Last president was there for 8 years. Right? This person had just come for 2 years. Can you sincerely say that within 2 years, you will solve all the inherent problems of that 30 years? Would that be possible? Can you also say the truth? That look at the foundation. Before, states were not able to pay salaries. You remember? States were going to beg federal government for money, bailout. Is that not correct? Fine. Now somebody has come. So look, what was that problem? Why we are governors running to Abuja every day to government bailout? I was one of those that took bailout for federal government. Things were very bad, even though we paid at the end of the day back. Today, no state is running to federal government for bailout. Today, no local government is running to the state government for bailout, which means a problem has been solved. There are more funds now in the hands of the state to be able to carry out development. Why was it not done before? I was just watching on television, which you talk about. If there's economic problem, part of it may also be as a result of security issues, right? I've never, for some time now, had anybody look at the steps the government has been taking. For the first time, look at the United States, United Kingdom, commending Nigerian government. Terrorists they have been looking for years. This government, to the security agents' efforts. And you know what that means? America, United Kingdom, of all the contacts and communications and technology they have, we're not able. But our security agencies were able to trap this to them. And they say, look, we commend you. What does that mean? Yes, we have suffered as a result of activities of these terrorists. But for what it looks like now, that we have really penetrated, and this insecurity is likely is coming down. We must commend government when they have put up efforts. You see, that's what we call putting up efforts, genuine efforts. And the efforts may not be yielding as fast as you may want it to. But you cannot deny the fact that, yes, we can attest to the fact that, yes, it's yielding. And the president has never hidden his intention. He said, look, there will be challenges. But it's better we do it now than leaving it.
Minister, the question then people will be asking tonight is that this government has pleaded with Nigerians to say the policies that we're making is going to bring some very difficult moments for Nigerians, but in the end, it will ease. The question is, when will that happen?
Take for example.
Do you have a timeline?
Are you talking
Nigerians to start
today now? Are you talking about today that the fuel has not stabilized?
There's availability of the fuel, but it's almost 4 or 5 times than what Nigerians were buying for this government.
You must also face the reality. Talk about, you said there's availability now. Before there was no availability, and also the price was high. Now there's availability.
Alright, so you see these politicians that can always twist our head and use our head very, very well if you're not very careful and you're not following up very well. Anyway, talking about fuel availability and not availability, you could recall that before now, the question should be what is causing the unavailability of fuel? Why is fuel not available before now? It's as a result of price control. So when the marketers have increased the price and the federal government they are not aligning with the price, the marketers will go on strike. And before you know, the fuel will not be available. So you shouldn't expect that now that the price has increased times, 10, and you expect that the fuel will not be available. Everybody want to sell the fuel. Everybody want to sell fuel because the price has skyrocketed. As at then, we're buying fuel 180,000 naira, less than 200 naira, and now we are buying 1,000 naira. You can imagine the difference. So why would the marketers go on strike? Now there will be an availability of fuel. But you see, these politicians, they will always twist their head. And now they're asking you, is there no availability of fuel now? Before now, is there? Did they? Anyway, let's continue watching.
Today, the price of fuel is coming down a bit. You were here when the president of World Trade Organization, WHO, said, look, the economy is being stabilized. Today, we are always saying that, look, we don't know what the exchange will be tomorrow morning. The next 2 hours, nobody is sure. But today, you can say, for how many months now? It's been within that cycle. That's what we call stability. You can now say, okay, this is the current rate of our exchange, the dollar. And therefore, I can plan my business or my businesses like this. It wasn't like that before. So we must always comment when we see the reality of ground.
So the minister, what I'm driving at,
yes,
and I'm not talking about the people who live in the city. It's easy for those who live in the city to get uncomfortable with the conversation of the sufferings of Nigerians because maybe they're not feeling it directly. But I'm talking about the average person who make the most of the population of this country, who have not started to feel the traces of what the policies of this government and the food that is bringing, the pains that are still feeling, transportation costs, food prices.
When the economy is bad, the economy does not know those who are living in the city alone. Neither does the economy talk about those who are living in the rural areas. It is not every. Are you not saying that everybody that's in the city is rich or can afford? That is not the truth. If the economy is not only hard for those in the rural areas, and then it's good for those living in the city.
The purchasing power, the graph of the purchasing power will also be determined about the quantity of money that is available to you.
Do you know, first of all, where does the food in the city come from?
Because mostly from the farm,
from the rural area. So they produce the food. And then when they produce the food, it comes to where?
Come to the city.
So when it comes to the city, those who live in the city buy the food. At what cost? So you will also know that those who live in the city also face the pains when the economy is bad. So you cannot say only those living in the rural area. It is not correct. But what I'm saying, that every Nigerian is entitled to have a good living. The president is not here for only the rich and not the poor. The president is not only for the poor and not the rich or the middle class. It is the responsibility of every government to cater for every Nigerian, irrespective of your status.
You are a member of the PDP and you work in this government.
Yes.
And there's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who are coming together too to say what this government is doing is not good. We don't believe in what they are doing. Your very good friend, former governor of Rivers, Rotimi Amaechi, said when he gets into power, he's going to fix corruption. And that there's a lot of corruption going on in this government. And there are a lot of voices like that who believe that what is going on right now under this administration is leading us nowhere. Okay. And that's why you see the opposition coalition coming together and they have won. And you people should not come back in 2027 because they're sending you out of town.
Okay. Actually, will you grant me this opportunity? Now you mentioned. And that's why I say it's only in Nigeria. We forget things easily. We trivialize issues. A man comes to tell you that he will solve the issue of corruption in 1 month. Is the man taking the issue of corruption very serious?
Is it not possible?
Can it be possible? Okay, let us even start from this antecedent. He was a governor for Rivers State, right? Okay, fine, very much. I like that. I'll take it one after the other. What can be more corruption when you don't want an arm of government to exist? Take, for example, can there be good governance without obeying the rule of law? Can there be good governance without the rule of law? Can there be good governance without adherence to the rule of law? Can there be? I'm asking. No, fine. Okay. A man who was a governor refused the judiciary to operate. A man who was a governor who would stop corruption sealed up the state high court for almost 2 years.
That's your predecessor.
Yeah, that's the person you
were there with him that time.
I was not there. I was a minister of state education. You have to realize this. You have to realize this. The man who wanted to say he will stop corruption was the man who refused judiciary to exist. Stopped high court for nearly 2 years. People had cases in court. People had their businesses in court to settle. The court was shut down almost 2 years.
But that's not the whole story.
No,
there were issues.
Excuse me, what were the issues?
There were issues surrounding that.
Excuse me, what are the issues? You refused to obey the recommendations of the National Judicial Council. The Judicial Service Commission made a recommendation to the National Judicial Council for appointment of who will be the substantive chief judge. And it is the incumbent of the National Judicial Council to recommend, based on the recommendation of the Judicial Service Commission. The governor refused that he will not obey the National Judicial Council, which is the apex body that recommends the appointment of judges and chief judges as the case may be. Don't be in a rush. So that you know the man who will fight corruption and corruption in 1 month. He then went and brought the president of Customary Court of Appeal, Justice PNC Agumago, retired, who of course was suspended by the Nigerian Judicial Council. That's one. Can such a man really be the one that can fight corruption in 1 month? 2, you remember that he was indicted by Judicial Panel of Inquiry on some of the properties, assets of Rivers State government.
Under your administration.
It doesn't matter. It must be somebody must be in charge at that time.
But remember you orchestrated it.
Well, when I orchestrated, I did not orchestrate. He went to court. The same court he shut down. And he was the first person, when we opened the court, he was the first person that ran to the court. Said, look, protect me. That was why the judge said, the court is not only for the poor, it's only for the rich. You shut this court down. Now you're the first person that now runs to court for protection. But be as it may, he was fully indicted. He went to court. The court said, yes, the panel was right. He went to Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal said the panel was right. He went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court upheld the judgment of the 2 courts. And that judgment was given 2 days to the primaries of All Progressive Congress in 2022. And what were the issues? The man who went to fight corruption in 1 month, our gas turbine, $308 million US. He sold it to the Sahara. Where's the body? Which account did they pay to? He spent $30 million US on Caribbean White Hospital.
But the gas turbine,
you
came into, you didn't see the money, you can't trace.
It's not there.
But you are not able to trace the money.
That's why we tried to prosecute him. He was right there. I'll come to that. $30 million US. He said he put Caribbean White Hospital. Where is the foundation of the hospital? Where is the foundation? Can he go today and say, look at the foundation I done for $30 million US? 3. The monorail. He spent $74 billion, 74 billion naira. Where is the monorail?
You stopped it?
No.
The monorail passes right in front of the government house. But you didn't believe in the project.
No, it's not true. If there's a road you have done, people will be using the road and they do not complete it. They will know that you have started the road and it's being used, but the road phase we can complete it. It's not correct.
You said that the rail is to nowhere. Because I remember interviewing you.
How would you have spent 74 billion naira in 1-point-something kilometer? Something that you do has no impact. Taking traffic from where to where. But anyway, if you have even completed the 1 kilometer, let it be that it is on use first. It is in use. Let us do so. Before we talk, okay, well, it is finished, it's being used. I'm talking about someone who wants to fight corruption. He took our legacy plane, to Germany for 12 years, no record, until I came. And we started looking for it, till I found it. And I had to go to Germany. We had to do everything, spend money to bring back that plane. That's what the state government is today. One of our Dash 8, he sold to his friend, the former governor of Cross River State, Lee Aliboke, $5 million US. Where is the plane? Where is the body? He will stop corruption in 1 month.
No record of this.
I'm telling you, sir. This is a man that will stop corruption in 1 month. And you look at Nigerians. We are so daft. We don't know anything. It has come to the point where any politician can come and tell us and speak to you, and then you listen to such garbage that somebody will tell you will stop corruption in 1 month in this country, which we are trivializing the issue of corruption. Now, for example, let's go further. Corruption. This is a man who boasted. It's not about corruption. Corruption is not only talking about taking money. You don't understand it? That's not the only thing about corruption.
But it's largely what is destroying this country.
No, it's not. That's
I say it's largely.
It is one of the things. Okay, take for example. When you try to influence somebody to do something in your favor, and the person refuses to do that, and the person is punished for not doing that which you want him to do, what is it called? Take for example. That's why I laugh. This is the same man they were happy. Today they are talking about the ruling party, trying to muzzle, trying to infiltrate their so-called party ADC. You remember when PDP were having problem with the body sheriff? This was the same man with his team. You know what happened to Justice Liman when the security invaded his house by 12 midnight in River State? Mm-hmm. You know, I was one who saved that situation. What happened? The PDP matter in that time was before Justice Liman. And everything was done for Justice Liman to give judgment in favor of Modi Sheriff and Modi Sheriff.